Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Lazy Sunday Review. Now, in a time when we're getting an oversaturation of comic book movies, it's always nice to come to one of these somewhat grounded superhero movies. Now, I use the word grounded incredibly loosely because, come on. Everyone lost their collective minds as the very ending of Split showed us that it took place in the same universe as Unbreakable. So once that was shown, you know everyone and their mom was ready to see this sequel. But did it live up to the hype? Were we given what we were promised? Well, ladies and gentlemen, why don't we go ahead and get into this one. Glass, starring Samuel L. Jackson, Bruce Willis, and James McAvoy, is the sequel to Split, which also happens to be the sequel to Unbreakable, and the long-awaited return of Mr. Glass, my man the Poncho Avenger, Patricia, Hedwig, Dennis, and
Batman.
Oh, no, sorry, I mean the Beast. In this movie, our main characters are rounded up by Dr. Ellie Staple, played by the lovely Sarah Paulson from the American Horror Story series, and taken to a mental institution as Dr. Staple tries to convince these men that their powers and abilities are nothing more than a figment of their imagination. When I went in to see this one, I was doing my absolute best to come in with low expectations, as not to be disappointed with the end result, but it was too hard. I was ecstatic when this movie started, and in some cases, it met my expectations. This movie is pretty darn good. The visuals are just absolutely outstanding, and the music at times really brings tension and suspense in most scenes. But the thing I really love the most is how M. Night used most of Kevin's different identities, which McAvoy still plays with absolute perfection. The guy just steals the show in this movie. Samuel L. Jackson also has a pretty sinister performance in the film, as we finally get to see Mr. Glass in action, using his abilities to cause mass mayhem. And Bruce Willis is not phoning it in this one. Oh no, he is absolutely trying. He's giving more passion to this scene than I've seen in his previous roles. Now, with that being said, let's get into the issues. First, like I said, the music was good at times, but in others, it was really overused. They kept playing that creepy violin in scenes it wasn't needed. You know, this sound? They try to bring up the tension with it in unnecessary moments. And don't even get me started with the Beast. I was not a huge fan of how they used him in this movie. He was the most intimidating thing in Split, but in this one, he's really downplayed to the point where he's just a super roided out dude, and he might as well be the guy from Spider-Man saying, "I've got you for 3 minutes!" And the ending, I'm like, come on, man, what are you doing, man? You almost had it. You almost had it. It seems like when he was at the finish line, he was gloating about how he won until he fell flat on his face because his signature twist cripples this film, and I will be discussing it in the Lazy Discussion. So it started really good and was really well paced, but the endings got me torn between whether or not I like it or hate it. It's got me really split. And I have a tough choice to make when it comes to grading this movie because at times it's an A-, others it's a C+. So here's the deal, let's meet someone in the middle and say it's a B-. Most of this movie was really good, but come on, M. Night, you played yourself. Thank you guys for joining me in this review. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like on this video and subscribe to my channel so you can catch my Lazy Discussion, which is the full review of this movie. And if you have seen this movie, email me your comments about it or message me on Instagram and Twitter so we can discuss them in the full review. Alright you guys, I hope you have an amazing rest of your weekend, and I'll